Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And hello everybody, welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Vechain analysis video. Happy Friday, by the way, to each and every one of you. I know that Sean is currently in the middle of a live stream, and I believe that his main focus is going to be Bitcoin and Cardano. So for those of you who are interested in any of those two coins, go ahead and check out the live stream, okay? I'm not sure when I'm going to be posting this video, so the live stream might be over by the time I finish, but I'll be linking the live stream above anyways. Okay, now on today's agenda, we're pretty much going to be sticking to the status quo. I'll be starting off with that Mango dashboard, and then I'll be getting on over to the charts. I do intend on covering the Bitcoin pairing as well, so quick heads up on that. If you're someone who's in a hurry, timestamps below, okay, in the description, as well as I'm going to try and pin a comment with the timestamps. Cool beans. Now, without further ado, let's get in. I'm currently on the Mango dashboard, specifically the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, a lot has flipped back into neutral territory on the 4-hour time frame, and that makes sense, right? Because we're seeing many of the altcoins actually, get picked up here. So let's go ahead and filter out Vechain from this list. And so far, Vechain USDT as well as Vechain BTC are still both neutral, telling us that they're still both in its regions of consolidation right now, even on the 4-hour time frame. And now this is something that Sean and I, we keep we keep analyzing the dashboard in this way, in that we're looking for those lower time frame trends to be established first. Okay, because let me tell you something, when you're seeing a reversal of a trend, now we saw a crazy dump to the downside, right? Now, if that dump has to reverse, your first sign is going to be given to you on the lower time frames. Okay, trends usually have cascading effects. They start from your lower time frames, then they cascade onto the intermediate time frames, like the daily, the 12-hour, and then they go on over to the macro time frames. So I'm talking about your 2-day up to your weekly time frame. Okay, so far, Vechain USDT is telling us that it is still neutral. It is still in its range of consolidation. How about the 12-hour time frame? Okay, so we can see here that the 12-hour time frame on Vechain is short currently. Okay, now this short trend change came in actually 1 week ago. This came in even before I did the video with you guys, right? My last analysis on Vechain, I told you that it was looking bearish. And I'll be looking, I was looking at a crunch zone, and I said that you won't have to wait too long in order for us to actually get a resolution on this. Depending on who takes over, that side wins. So what happened here was the dashboard actually called a short 1 week ago on Vechain USDT. And if you managed to catch a short on that, or hell, even if you exited your trade, this is how much you ended up saving yourself and then some, right? Because you're still up a good 28%. This is even after the recent recovery that we got following that crazy dump to the downside. We're seeing a lot of these coins actually get picked back up, because Vechain actually went all the way down to like 6 cents or something. So you're back up, we're back up at what, 12 cents? You've already made a good 2x on this trade. So in spite of this, okay, in spite of the recent sort of pump that we got, you're still up a good 28%. Now, this is what's happening on the 12-hour time frame on the dashboard. How about the daily time frame? Daily too, guys, is still short. Okay, daily is still short. This short trend change came into us 5 days ago. So now if we want to see this trend actually start flipping, okay, I'll be looking for the 4-hour to switch first. Our first sign is going to be given to us on the 4-hour time frame. Now, I know that I keep saying this. I'm saying that Bitcoin is the market driver here, and I still stick to that. Bitcoin is going to be the market driver here. And Bitcoin has lost its weekly structure. Okay, so has Vechain. However, it is going to pay to be a bit unbiased, okay, in this particular very critical juncture right now. Because I'll say this, while Bitcoin has lost the 200 simple moving average, we have yet to close the weekly, okay? The weekly is currently hovering underneath the weekly 21 EMA, but for whatever reason, we start ticking back up and taking back major levels even on Bitcoin's chart. There's a good chance that we do see continuation. Right, it is going to pay. There's a lot of the dynamic in the crypto market you guys need to understand, especially with the market leader being Bitcoin. the dynamic around Bitcoin has changed drastically compared to the last bull market. The signature, in fact, from the last bull market to this bull market is very, very different. Okay, and this is why I'm saying that it's going to pay to be a bit more price agnostic as well as keep your biases at bay. Okay, it does not pay anyone to fight the market. Let the market dictate what it wants to do. Now, Vechain actually told us beforehand that, hey, I'm looking weak here. Right? Now, if you caught that analysis, if you caught any of the trend trades to the downside, then, I mean, you made a good profit on it. If you didn't make a profit, then at least you managed to save yourself some profit, right? So it's about being on the side of the market. So far, Vechain is telling us that it is still in neutral territory, and let's see where it goes from here. And for that, let's get into the charts. Now, here we are, Vechain USDT on the weekly time frame. Let's go ahead and put on those horizontals. So as things have sort of unfolded on this current weekly candle, it's been a pretty intense week, right, for many participants in the crypto space. But so far, I mean, yes, we had the dump to that 6 cent region, 5 cent, 6 cent region, and this is something that was a measured move, right? It was a measured move of a cup and handle that I'd pointed out to you guys on the daily time frame. Now, it met that 6 cent region to the T, dipped, hell, it even dipped slightly below that, but look at the pickup so far. I mean, it's a rather bullish pickup. Okay, this pickup alone, guys, was a good 142%. Okay, 142% is nothing to be scoffed at. I'll say this. If the bulls, for whatever reason, manage to pick this past this 15 cent region, okay, if we manage to close this weekly candle over 15 cents, I'm saying there's a good chance that we get another push to the upside. Okay, the next region of contention, if there's a big if, I don't want you guys to just single out the bullish analysis and not the bearish analysis. Okay, it is only if we close this weekly candle, which closes in about 3 days, if we close over 15 cents, only then will I be anticipating a push to the next region of resistance that only comes in at 21 cents. Alrighty, if we close underneath 15 cents, then I'm saying we're likely going to come back down to the 21 EMA, which once again comes in at 11 cents. Alright, these are all price ranges that I have drawn out for you on my chart. The horizontal lines are the support and resistance, and the pink lines that you see in the middle, they are the midpoints. Now, for those of you who have been watching my videos, you guys know that the midpoints help me in really determining which direction price is likely going to trend in. Right? In fact, just notice this candle right here, just to give you guys an example. As soon as we closed underneath the midpoint, notice what happened on the next weekly. Right? We had this crazy dump to the downside. However, I mean, it did not happen in one fell swoop. For my last daily video on Vechain, if you guys remember, the daily time frame actually showed us a technical weakness. Right? We were in a squeeze-like situation. I said that, hey, if this happens, we trigger a pattern play to the downside. If we start breaking the resistance to the upside, then there's a good chance that we see trend continuation. As things sort of unfolded, we saw the former play out. Now, as far as Vechain USDT structure goes, I think that the weekly structure is lost. Okay, there is no refuting that the weekly structure is lost. Max, I was hoping that Vechain could maintain the 7 cent region right here. Okay, if we manage to live over 7 cents, then yes, there was a good chance of revival, but right now that weekly structure is lost. There is no denying that. At what point would things really change? Because of how intense the bleed was, okay, I've been through similar setups in the past in the crypto market, and I'll say this. For this to now turn bullish, okay, for us to now really anticipate any major continuation to the upside, I will be looking for price to, believe it or not, take out the wick high. We need to start living over this region right here that comes in at 27 cents. It's only once we start doing that will I really anticipate another trend continuation. I'm looking for the trend to continue. Okay, so far you may find range plays along these boundaries, but for the trend to continue from here, we need to start living over the highs. Because what it is that I'm looking for is for price to, you know, take back its bullish structure. And for us to really do that, we need to start taking out the highs. Because more often than not, what happens is that, yes, when you see these aggressive dumps, you also see aggressive pickups, right? But only for price to put in another lower high. Okay, if price puts in a lower high, then I'm saying down we go once again. We are essentially getting into a downtrend. A downtrend on a structural standpoint is a series of lower highs and lower lows. So as you can see, we had one high here that came in at around 27 cents. The second high came in right here, which was at 25 cents. Now it really depends on where the next high comes in. Okay, if it is lower than 25 cents, then I'm saying there's a good chance that we get another push to the downside. If for whatever reason we actually see continuation to the upside and we start breaking these highs right here, then we could very well see trend continuation, believe it or not. I think the dynamic, it's going to pay to be fluid, to be honest with you. I think it's going to really pay to be fluid in the crypto market, because there's a lot of dynamics in the crypto sphere right now that have changed drastically compared to the last bull market. Okay, even the kind of entrance that we have in the space right now, there's so much that has changed, and it is not going to pay to be rigid in one's ways. Okay, I'll say this, the TA is what is going to tip you off first. So listen to the TA, cut off all the noise, listen to the TA, and look at the structure. Your best structure is going to be given to you on the weekly time frame, on the macro time frame. So zoom into your macro time frames. Okay, your macro time frames is what is going to keep you on the right side of this market, and that is ultimately what matters. It is being on the right side. Because remember, yes, you can make money on the upside. In a bull market, everyone is very happy. But in a downtrend, guys, you can also make money. Right? There is money to be made on either side of the market, and this is what makes trading so freaking spectacular. You can trade and be profitable under any market condition. But first, you need to determine which phase of the market are we currently in. Because just determining that one question, determining the answer to that question, you're going to likely catch high probability trade setups. Okay, most blunders are usually made with people fighting the market, fighting against the market. And you do not want to be one of those people, especially not in the crypto space, especially not in an asset as volatile as Vechain. Now, Vechain USDT on the weekly pickup is good, but now let's get on over to the daily and see what the daily is up to. And as you can see, the daily, I mean, we're currently in this range of consolidation. We lost this major horizontal that came in at 11 cents, right? We closed underneath, only for price to take it back up on, well, today's close. So far, Vechain is getting rejected off of that midpoint. We have closed 2 consecutive candles underneath that midpoint, telling me that we might likely get another test of 11 cents to the downside. It is only once we start taking out the midpoint to the upside, which comes in at 13 cents, only then will I be looking for another push to 15 cents. So far, I think that Vechain is ranging. I think in order for us to really find another revival to the upside, we need to start taking out 15 cents. Depending on where the next high comes in, that's really going to dictate the overarching trend for Vechain. How about the 4-hour time frame? Let's quickly get on over to the 4-hour time frame. And it's looking weak here. Okay, it's looking weak. Notice how ever since we dumped, this was back here in May 10th, we have been using the 21 EMA as overhead resistance now. Since May 10th. Okay, we have failed to take it out on every touch. We failed to take it out. We managed to do one thing right here. And this is another thing that I brought up in my last video. We took it out very briefly here, only to get a massive sell-off. And this was a very, very bearish doji. Right, this right here, we took it out, bearish doji, continuation to the downside. And when you see a doji like this, guys, that is usually your first sign on continuation to the downside. So we were here on the last juncture. We spoke about Vechain. Once again, we got rejected off the 4-hour 21 EMA, and I told you guys then too, it'll really depend on how we react off of that 4-hour 21 EMA. Right, we have been getting rejected off of this, and even right now, we have not managed to take it out. So the first sign will be given to you on the 4-hour time frame. As soon as we start taking out the 4-hour 21 EMA, I'm saying up we go. Okay, at the very least, we'll start contesting the 15-cent region, which is our breakdown point, as well as the upper threshold of the current range of price action. Alrighty, so far I think we're likely going to end up coming back down to give 11 cents an official test. At least that's how it's looking so far. Okay, it's only if we start taking out the 21 EMA will I be looking for the trend to flip here. As far as the weekly time frame goes, we've lost structures, so even any pump to the upside, even if we do start seeing a push to the upside, watch out for how price reacts off of its existing highs, because that is going to be a first tip off on whether or not we see continuation to the upside, or we just put in another lower high and then another let's say, push the downside. So this is what Vechain USDT is up to. Let's get on over to Vechain BTC and see what we're doing here. Now, this is the 4-hour time frame. I noticed that many of you had asked for Vechain BTC to be covered on the 4-hour time frame. No, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Once again, notice how we're holding that 21 EMA, right? We're holding it as overhead resistance. We clearly broke down here from a major horizontal that came in at 323 sats. Yes, we took it out very briefly, only to lose it once again, and once again, we're living underneath that region. The 4 hours not looking good. Looks like it wants to have continuation to the downside. How about the weekly time frame? Let's get on over to the weekly and see what we're doing on the weekly. Wow. This was annihilation, eh? Look at that wick. So my last weekly analysis, I told you guys that, okay, we're likely going to come down to 197 sats. And I thought that was a pretty volatile target as it is, right? And that was a major horizontal. That's why I said that was going to be the first region of contention to the downside. But as things unfolded and the volatility picked up, and if there were any people on leverage, all that leverage, you know, over leveraged longs, it all adds to this kind of bleed. Okay, not only did we come down to 197, we broke 197 and came all the way down to 144 sats. This was an intense bleed. Once again, guys, the weekly structure has been broken on Vechain BTC as well. And it's only if we start taking out the highs even here. We need to start taking out the highs in order for me to really get bullish again. I've set that for Vechain, I've set that for Bitcoin as well. I told Sean just this afternoon that Bitcoin as well, I'll be looking for Bitcoin to start taking out some major regions of contention in order for me to really flip bullish on it. Until and unless we get that, my technicals are telling me that it is not time yet. I am completely okay missing out on the lows. Okay, I'm completely fine with that. My only goal here is to catch the high probability trade. That is my only goal here. I am a trader ultimately, and I don't care about catching, I care about catching the meat. And I don't care about the bottoms or the tops. My only objective here is to catch the meat of the move. Okay, establish what phase of the market we are in, and then according to that phase, I will catch a trade that is with the market, okay, that is in the direction of that market, and I will catch the meat of the move. And that's it. Now, this is all I have for you for Vechain. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below, especially now more than ever before. I would love to hear them. And with this, guys, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.